Kazuo Inimurai, a Japanese businessman, dedicated his life to prove that wealth and opportunity flow to high-energy individuals. He was trying to prove that winning in life is not about external strategies, but instead about refining your inner energy. He said, "The purpose of life is to elevate the soul and refine the spirit. And this world is nothing but a training ground for the soul. Every challenge is an opportunity to raise your frequency."
You're incredible, but you need to get out of your own way. Don't be afraid of your gift. Don't be afraid of yourself. Don't hate on yourself. Don't speak negative about yourself. Don't be your own worst enemy.
Now, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole of spirituality because I feel like that angle has been covered when it comes to becoming lucky. But instead, I want to give you the proven concepts and the proven, you could say, science behind becoming a luckier person. By the end of this video, I want you to know exactly how to experience what everyone else determines as luck and calls luck, and experience quantum leaps in your business, in your health, in your relationships, in your wealth. And in my decade of being a creator, being an entrepreneur, I've actually observed a golden thread that connects all of my experiences, all of my wins, and it ties it nicely into a bow. So here it is. Every win in my life descended from the fact that I became luckier when I figured out how to be high energy and have laser-like awareness in what it is that I was doing. And why? Well, high energy makes you magnetic. It creates more collisions with opportunity that you would normally never have. And the laser-like awareness and mental clarity allows you to see the openings that other people miss. There are brief openings in time where everything seems to align, but most people just seem to miss it. They're blinded by their own ignorance. It's a running joke amongst my friends that I'm a really lucky person with the people I end up meeting, the places I end up going, with the opportunities I create. And I take that as a compliment rather than hate. Maybe that's cope. Because I know that even if they call it luck, I had a role in co-creating that luck. And that's what I want to show you how to do. See, I don't believe that things just happen to you. I believe you co-create everything you do. And there is actually a formula to luck, or at least a few things you can do to make yourself luckier. But first, I guess you have to define what luck really is. And to be honest, that's quite subjective, because what one person would consider lucky, another would consider a burden. Some people might consider a job promotion lucky, but another person would consider it a burden because it's more work on their plate. However you define luck is what you end up optimizing for and what ends up finding you. For example, I always consider it lucky that I run into the right people at the right time, and that usually creates opportunities for collaboration. And because I think that, that's the kind of luck that tends to hit me. Paul Graham said in an essay that when you read the biographies of successful people, you'll be surprised how much luck was involved in their process. So speaking of luck, there's two types. There's blind luck, the things that just hit you randomly, and the things you can't control. And then there's luck you can control, which I call intentional luck. You want to be focusing on the intentional luck and let blind luck hit you whenever it wants to. And the way you do that is by increasing your surface area for luck to hit you. Imagine throwing a dart at a bullseye, but being able to control how big the bullseye is. The same is true with you and your reality. You can control how big the bullseye of yourself is. And that is by acting intentionally. I urge you to go and study previous entrepreneurs who have won, previous athletes, doctors, whoever it is, and you'll find that luck is a common theme. And that's not to take away from their hard work, not at all. Of course you have to work hard, that's a given, but unconsciously or consciously they position themselves, and that is what propelled them forward. Take Steven Spielberg, for example, one of the greatest directors of our time. His big break came because of an absurd amount of luck. He snuck into Universal Studios and set up an empty office, and he just acted like he belonged there. And low-key, I'm actually going to try that. But a producer eventually noticed him there, and they gave him a shot. And that luck was a mixture of blind luck at the fact that Universal spotted him at the time they were looking for new talent, but it was also intentional because he positioned himself in the heart of Hollywood. So after I give you these next steps, I'm going to give you the most important factor when it comes to creating luck. So first, how do you increase your surface area for luck? Well, firstly, I think it's important to identify what is pro-luck and anti-luck. But for example, me surrounding myself with pessimistic people is anti-luck. Every time I seem to do it and spend more time with people who are pessimistic, things seem to get into a downward spiral. Their thought patterns and worldviews just latch onto me unconsciously, and I start thinking the way they do. So I intentionally see them less, and by doing that alone, I'm increasing my luck factor. So I urge you to write a list down of everything that is anti-luck. It doesn't just have to be people. That list can also be anything that just feels like it repels luck, like two opposite sides of a magnet. So the aim is to remove those things from your life, or at least reduce your exposure to it. And on the other side, you need to create a pro-luck list. And these are things that you increase your exposure to. For example, the harder and smarter I work, the luckier I seem to get. Or the more high energy conversations I have, the more collaborations and lucky opportunities that seem to come to me. A simple life hack that I wish I knew earlier is that you can literally curate your physical and digital environment to become luckier. Naval says to spend your time in the company of geniuses, sages, children, pause, and books. When you experience these positive emotions by curating your environment to become luckier, you will see the opportunities that were there in front of you the entire time. And to be honest, that's really the secret of this entire video. Nothing is created or destroyed, everything already exists, but it's just about uncovering those opportunities through intentionality and awareness. I guarantee the breakthrough that you're looking so hard for right now will seem so obvious to you in a few months. So most of your luck will come from this awareness and being delusionally optimistic. So secondly, you have to become curious and create. You tend to discover your next steps by chance through a book that you pick up or a person that you speak to or a question that you ask. So in order to get luckier, try lots of new things, meet lots of people and ask lots of questions. Like I said in the beginning, go outside more to increase your chances of colliding with luck. It's not going to hit you if you're sitting inside all day scrolling on your phone. Even if you're working on something on your laptop locked away in your room, go to a high vibrational environment, whether that's a cafe or a luxury gym. Spend the extra £3 or dollars on that coffee, because the return on investment is literally the energy and the luck that you create. So get the ideas out of your head and into the world. If you spend more time creating rather than consuming, you're becoming a bigger target for luck. People, things, and opportunities will naturally find you when you're building something and putting it out there in public. I've built a powerful network through creation alone. See, one of the myths that we're taught when we're younger is that the happiest people in the world are on a beach somewhere relaxing and retired. But that couldn't be further from the truth. And in my observation, the people who I know who are the most happy, the most lucky, and the most fulfilled, most importantly, are working on their ideas 24/7. They're putting them out into the world. And why? It's because it's the purest form of self-actualization. Luck favors courage. The more you act and the more you execute, the more luck seems to find you. So thirdly, and most importantly, remember, it's all mental. If you consider yourself a lucky person, you will be. If you consider yourself an unlucky person, you will be. It's like that yellow car theory. If you think about yellow cars and you talk about yellow cars, when you go outside, all you're going to see is yellow cars. And the same is true with creating your reality. If you think that you're a lucky person, then this luck is going to find you one way or another. See, the secret is the world is only a mirror of you. What you see and how you see it and how you experience it is literally determined by your inner engineering. Whatever you believe about yourself, about the world, is what the world is going to give back to you. It will create evidence for you, making it harder to get out of that belief system, good or bad. That's why doomers are always going to remain doomers. It's not even their fault, but even in the face of a miracle, they're fighting against years of evidence that says otherwise. Like I said, if you can aim to be high energy in every interaction, it's going to pay dividends and you're going to be luckier. See yourself as an infinite, endless light source that pours over into everything that you do, every person that you speak to, every business that you start. Creating this mental image alone is a process that allows you to enter a state of flow. And from flow, the greatest things in the world are created. Mozart's symphonies, Da Vinci's paintings, Jordan in Game 7, Djokovic in his final sets, which then creates momentum and spins the wheel of luck in your favor. So find a way to first create and then access this high energy or high frequency, whatever you want to call it. And I had someone ask me recently, how can I possibly access this high energy and create it if the world is so negative? And they just didn't understand the mirror principle that I explained just now. In fact, they were convinced that they had never felt high frequency. And I just think that's objectively untrue. You might have to dig deep, but somewhere inside of you there's a moment where everything felt in sync. So your job then is to try and recreate those circumstances. And if you can't do that physically, maybe let's say it was when you were traveling across Europe, sipping espressos in new cultures and new cities, then you can tap into it mentally. You don't have to physically go there again to feel it. You can reignite the feeling that you once felt because ultimately it came from you, which means it's still in you. So it's about rediscovering that. Cultivate that feeling by any means and then transfer it into your work, into your relationships, into your health, and see how luck seems to find you. So finally, the art and the science of becoming a luckier person all relies on the conviction you hold in your ability to create your reality. Your locus of control is a concept that refers to your belief system about how much you believe you control your world and your reality, whether it's internal or external. If you have an external locus of control, that means that you believe external forces control your life. If you win a game, you think it's because of luck, and if you lose a game, you think it's because you ran out of luck. But in reality, luck is not an external force. Your energy should be on developing an internal locus of control. That means you have personal agency and responsibility over your actions and everything that happens to you. And the most elite performers in the world have an internal locus of control. And yes, some things are still out of your control technically, but your response to them is still in your control. In this life, you want to co-create your luck. And you can only do that by changing how you see luck entirely, and realize the luck that you experience is only going to be a reflection of your inner world, the inner engineering that you've gone through, and the relentless outward action that you take. The more you focus on these three components, the more luck is going to find you, and the more you're going to become a luckier person. This is the simple formula to becoming lucky, and I guarantee you, if you implement these practices, then things are going to find you and things are going to align, and synchronicities are going to appear more than randomness allows. And you're going to realize that you were the one pulling the strings the entire time. By the way, if you're a founder or creator and you're looking to break through to the next level of your business and your life, and you want to go through and break these mental barriers that you're facing, whether it's procrastination or time management or a lack of internal alignment, then some spots have opened up in my Conscious Co-Creator program, where we work together for 8 weeks one-to-one to design a roadmap and break through these mental barriers in order to get to the next level of your business and your life. See, there's no external change without first addressing the internal world. This 8-week process has allowed the founders I've worked with to get to new levels of their business, revenue, of growth in their relationships, of discipline in their health. One founder I worked with said they uncovered more with me in 40 days than they did in 2 years of therapy. So if you're interested and this aligns with you, then click the link in the description below, the first link, and if there is a match and if I feel like I can actually help you, then I'll contact you personally. I'll literally message you or email you, and we can jump on a call to discuss more. Alternatively, if you're not there and you're not yet a founder or creator and you still want to break through these barriers, I'm running these 90-minute strategy sessions where we dissect your entire life, implement my frameworks and strategies that are going to guarantee growth within the next 30 days for you. These are the proven frameworks that I've developed in my 10 years of self-mastery that have helped me grow businesses to 7+ figures, garner an audience of 100,000 people, and turn passion into profit. Just think about how a 90-minute call with intention to build a better life with proven systems would change the trajectory of your business, of your health, of your well-being. If you're interested in that, then click the second link in the description below. And aside from that, subscribe to this channel and subscribe over on my main channel where I do my show, and I will see you in the next one. That dropped, but okay.